Good morning. Welcome to North Carroll Library, and my name is Miss Amy. This morning we're going to do a penguin craft, but before we start with our craft, I'd like to share some information about our mascot. I'm not sure if you know, but our mascot is actually a penguin. And I want to show you a picture of our mascot right over here. His name is Corky, and you might actually see him when you're on our website, or sometimes during the summer reading club, he might be on your game board. Here's some pictures of Corky over here too. He's been on some of our summer reading club t-shirts in the past. And you might be wondering, how do you get a name like Corky for a penguin? So let me tell you, when we first picked him as our mascot back in 1998, we had a contest where everyone that used the library could help choose his name. And the little girl that came up with his name, her name was Angela, and his full name, our mascot's full name, is actually Captain Corky P. Literature. So if you were writing that down on a piece of paper and you looked at the initials of Captain Corky P. Literature, it would be CCPL, which also stands for Carroll County Public Library. So we love having Corky as our mascot, and penguins are just so cute, so that's why I thought that I would do a craft today of a penguin. And when you're out and about and you see our mascot live and in person, we do have a special staff member. Her name is Brenda Schaefer, who helps bring our Corky mascot to life. So if you ever see them out and about, go up and give him a hug or shake his hand, because he would love to meet you too. So let's get started with our craft, and I'll tell you what you need for your penguin today. This is what it's going to look like when it is finished. And of course we're going to need our recycled water bottles again for this craft. So we're going to start with that. You don't need the cap for this craft. You'll need your black craft paint, a plate to put it on, your paint brushes. You'll need some googly eyes, some string or dental floss, some black and yellow foam, cotton balls, and some different colored felt, and also a glue gun for this craft. So to start with, we're going to take our water bottle, and you just want to make sure that you take off that label. And we're only going to paint, if you take a look at the one that I have finished here, 3/4 of the penguin, because you want to leave that front portion clear. So take your paintbrush and really put the paint on nice and thick, and make sure that you're getting it in the ridges of that water bottle. And you're going to do from the very top where the cap goes on all the way down to the very bottom. And I did put 2 coats of black paint on my water bottle, and you want to make sure that you let this dry probably overnight. So this might be a 2-day craft. So once you're done painting your water bottle and you get all 3/4 of it done, and you let that dry good, the next step that you're going to do is you're going to take your cotton balls and you're going to put them one by one down into your water bottle. Now after you get to a certain point, it's going to be hard to get them packed down in there. So you're going to need something long, like a long wooden spoon, or I brought with me a marker, so that you can kind of put your marker down in there and push your cotton balls down to make them nice and tight. So once again, let me show you the one that I got finished, and I put a lot of cotton balls in there to make it look nice and white on the front of the penguin. So then we can move on to the next step. You have it painted, you have your cotton balls in. Now you can start to decorate it a little bit, and that's where our black foam comes into play. You're going to do 2 things with your black foam. You're going to make a black collar, which you're just going to cut a very long piece like this that is going to glue around the very top like that with your hot glue gun. Then you're going to glue another 2, or cut another 2 pieces, I should say, We're going to cut out your penguin wings. And you can cut them any shape that you would like. I'm going to give mine a little curve. And you can make them big or little. But once you've cut them out, you're going to glue them onto the side of your bottle with your hot glue gun. Or you can reverse them, put them that way. So now we have his collar and his wings. What else do we need to put on? I think we need his feet and his beak. So you're going to use your yellow foam to cut out a beak piece and some feet and put those on with hot glue. And if we look at our penguin one more time, we need our Google eyes. And these are all going to be glued up top on that piece of foam that you glued up here. So it looks like we have a lot of parts on there so far, but we still need 2 more. And you're going to decorate him with a felt scarf and a felt hat. The felt scarf isn't too difficult. You're just going to cut a nice long piece of felt. And you're going to wrap around the bottle and glue that just like that for his scarf. Now the hat, you need to do a little bit of measuring because you're going to make a cylinder out of your felt, and you have to make sure that it's going to go around his head. So you want to cut your felt and just measure it around the top of your bottle to make sure that it fits. And then once it does, then you can glue it with your hot glue gun right down the seam there and let that dry. You're going to tie it with your string or I used dental floss, that was just nice and easy to make it look like a hat. Let me tie that. And depending on how big of a hat you want, I made mine a little shorty hat, so I cut the top of it off. And then I made little cuts in it to look like a fancy hat. And then I used a little bit of glue from the hot glue gun. Doesn't want to stay for me today. And I glued it right on top of the bottle for his hat. So that was kind of a quick version of how I made my Corky the penguin. Here's another look at our finished version. Let's look at all the parts that we put on. We put on his wings and his face, his beak, his feet, his eyes, his scarf, and his hat. And there is your Corky the penguin. And I thank you for joining me today.